Manchester United just beat Fulham in a thriller of a match. Make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get straight into it because the first half was pretty solid, right? Man United were having a very solid first half. Fulham didn't really do much in the first half. They were making no chances. They weren't attacking at all. Man United were pretty much right on the front foot. They were on it. They were doing their thing. Midfield was compact. Defense was compact, and in attack they were very, very well worked. They get the goal. Casemiro gets the goal. Bruno assists again. Bruno, I think, now has 12 assists. Casemiro gets another goal. Casemiro has just announced that this is his last season at Manchester United. He's going to run down his contract and leave on a free. And Casemiro has been on a tear this season because he's always been very good at these headers, right? He's always been good. His first Man United season, I think he scores against Newcastle in the final two. But he's always his aerial duels, right? Because he's not the tallest, he's not a Dan Burn, he's not a Voltemade, he's not a Sesko, he's not the tallest of player, but he always times it perfectly. He is so fast on it, and he always wins his aerial duels, and he gets the goal. And then that's first half, right? Man United are set. Man United are doing very well. Second half starts and it keeps going where it ended in the first half, right? Second half, Man United are on it. Fulham aren't really doing much, and United are on it. They're really well worked. Michael Carrick has been playing some amazing football, and they get the second goal with an amazing Casemiro assist. Casemiro, no look pass, through pass to Cunha. Cunha takes an amazing shot, very good goal, top corner, goalkeeper, nothing he could do about it. And this is Casemiro, right? This is a Casemiro that is ready for the game. This is a Casemiro that's physically in shape. This is a Casemiro who's running back the years, right? Because even in Madrid, he wasn't getting that much of a free roll at Madrid, right? Because he had Kroos and Modric next to him. He had to do a lot of the dirty work. But right now, he has that a little bit of freedom at Man United where he can move around the whole entire pitch, and his IQ is so high compared to other players. His defensive capabilities are immense, and he is amazing. And he does a no look pass to Mateus Cunha, who puts it in the top corner. Amazing goal. A big shout out to Cunha, who ever since Michael Carrick came in, he's looked way better. I know he's been coming off the bench, but every time he comes on, he is on it. Against Arsenal, comes on, scores a goal. Against City, comes on, helps end the game. With Arsenal too, he's very good at winning these fouls. I like talking about Cunha because he's a very special and particular and unique player. He's very good at what he does. He's very good at winning fouls. He's very dangerous, and he's always forward thinking, which I like. And then again, Casemiro no look assist. But from here on out, things switched because a couple minutes after, Casemiro gets taken off, right? Because he playing 90 minutes week in, week out maybe isn't his thing anymore, right? Like I believe versus Arsenal and City, he played the full 90 minutes. Now Michael Carrick decides to take him out. It's a pretty comfortable game so far. Fulham haven't really attacked. Lamens hasn't really made that many saves. They haven't really shot on goal. So he takes out Casemiro, brings on the man no one like at Man United likes. I watched a lot of Man United people on Twitter, on YouTube, on TikTok, and none of them like Ugarte. So Ugarte comes on, and then I believe later on he took out Cunha and brings on Sesko. He made a couple changes, but the big one, in my opinion, was taking off Casemiro, bring on Ugarte. And it's one of those substitutes, 2-0 down, very pretty comfortable game. Fulham hasn't really attacked. Fair. It doesn't really matter, right? But it did because right after that, Fulham were on it. They were going 2-0. They were 2-0 down. They had nothing to lose. They had everything to play for. They could just freely play. Fulham are on the attack. They start pressing. They start attacking. They start getting on it. And what do they do? First one, free kick. Raul Jimenez takes it, bounces off in the wall. Fulham get a goal on it, and it gets called offsides. But that was just a little warning sign, right? Little warning sign. Fulham keep pressing. They keep attacking. They're on it again. Raul Jimenez through on goal. Maguire takes him out clean. Clear foul, clear penalty. Maguire runs right through him, slides through him, gets him really bad on the ankle. Maguire got his knee on the ankle. It really messed up Raul Jimenez on that run. Clear pen. Raul Jimenez takes it. Amazing pen. Raul Jimenez has been on an upwards trajectory this season, right? Last season he had a good ending. This season he's had a good start to the season, and now halfway through it, He's playing very well. He's playing very well. He's getting goals. He's getting assists. He's winning pens. He's dropping deep in a false nine role. Harry Wilson getting goals thanks to him. Raul Jimenez takes an amazing pen, top left corner. You could have three, four, or five goalkeepers in there. None of them would have blocked it. Prime Neuer wouldn't have blocked that. Top right corner. Nothing Lamens could do about it. And from here on out, I know Man United fans around the world were getting very skeptical about Fulham coming back, right? What happens? They keep attacking, they keep pressing. Man United are losing the ball so easily. They're just kicking up high. And Sesko isn't really winning it. You know, Sesko later after I believe it was after the first goal or right before the first goal, he had a header, hits the post, has another header, puts it over the post. And by then, Man United were not attacking. They were creating no chances. When they were every time they go forward, they lose the ball right away. Big shout out to Anderson. Big shout out to um, Fulham's defense. I think they had put Cuenca was very good today as well. And United were not creating anything, you know. They weren't doing much. Then you have Kevin comes on, Brazilian, I believe he is, comes on, does a little fast 1-2 and puts in a screamer of a goal. Fulham tied the game. It was such an amazing goal. I think some fans on Twitter and here and there are blaming Lamens because he kind of was able to get his hand on it. But I just think it was one of those goals where you can't really blame the goalkeeper. You can't really blame like him not getting to it because it was top right corner. They gave him so much freedom to cut in and shoot. 1-2, very easy goal for them to build up. Very amazing goal to watch. And now the game is 2-2. And from here on out, Man United fans are thinking, "Oh, will we lose the 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 goal of not losing after conceding after winning the first half, right? Because they have that special thing, right, where if they're winning in the first half, they have never lost a game, right? At the dawn of time, right? Till this day, they haven't lost it, right? What happens? Bruno does an amazing play, lets the ball run, gets on the end of it, passes it to Sesko. Sesko wins the game for United, and this was a very entertaining game, right? Because for the first half, it was all right, right? It was a good Premier League game. But the second half was very entertaining. Fulham were on it after the goal. Fulham were on it after Man United took out Casemiro, who I think was my man of the match up until the end, right? Where Sesko wins it for me. Sesko or Bruno Fernandes should get the man of the match because they were the reason Man United ended up winning the game, right? Probably Bruno Fernandes. I think that assist alone was amazing. I think he had a very good game, and he's easily connecting with Kobe Mainu, even though a certain ex-Man United manager, Ruben Amorim, took him out. Mainu wasn't playing no minutes, and he's saying that he would only come in for Bruno Fernandes. But Bruno Fernandes has been on a he's so well-rounded nowadays because I remember in his early days for Man United, he was a straight up 10. He would stay up, give him the ball, and he would do something, right? He'll cross the ball in, he would just do some through passes. He was very known just to be that natural 10, but right now he's just a very attacking 8 because he comes down to defend. He presses, he is everywhere. He is a leader in the Man United dressing room. He is a leader on the pitch. Bruno Fernandes is so well rounded. I see him do so many tackles. I see him press. I see him come back to defend all the way to the with the center backs, with the right backs and full backs. He's helping them out. And then apart from there, the most important thing is how creative he is. He is so important. His creative output is in crazy, putting up crazy numbers. There's what 14 games left, and he's on 12 assists. Could he break the Henri record? If he does, I think that would be an amazing achievement for Bruno Fernandes. 12 assists. I think the record is 20 assists by Thierry Henry. Will he be able to break it? You know, who knows? If they keep playing like this, if he keeps getting an assist or two per game, he might break it faster than we think. But we'll see, right? Because there's a little curse on that one. You know, Saka last season or 2 seasons ago, it was December and he had like 10 assists. He was on an upward. Then he got injured. Then you have, I think the famous one is the Ozil one. You have the De Bruyne seasons. It's kind of a cursed one. You know, you've seen De Bruyne almost break away. There's like some different games because he kind of broke it or tied it, but then they didn't count certain things. It's too weird, right? But with Ozil, I think Ozil's a famous one where he was close to it. He ends up like one or two assists off. But Bruno Fernandez is playing amazing right now. Free kicks, corner kicks. United are getting on the headers. Maguire, Casemiro, they're getting on the end of it. Then you have you have the runners. You have Embuemo, you have Cunha, you have Sesko, 6'5". He's always in the box. Takes an amazing finish. And thinking back at it now, I don't even think he ever looks at the goal because he gets the ball, his back is to goal, he makes the turn, and then he takes the shot. But I don't think he ever looked at the goal. So that was think I'm just thinking about that right now. Amazing goal by Sesko. I think he ever since Michael Carrick came in, he scored the two against Burnley. He scored the other. He's been scoring. No, that wasn't under Michael Carrick. That was under Fletcher. But ever since Ruben Amorim left, it seems like Sesko is on it. He's scoring his goals. He has like three, four, like he got like four goals in his last couple of games, and he's been playing very well. I think Busquets Sesko is back now. Amazing goal by Sesko again. But yeah, let's talk about Fulham's season so far because a lot of people just lie talking down on Fulham at the beginning of season. They look at Fulham and they don't have some superstars, 50 million signings, so they always put them down, right? Before the season started, I saw a lot of fans, a lot of YouTubers talking about Fulham might go down. Fulham's gonna be 17th, 18th, 16 in that range, but right now they're easily top half. I think last week before this week, before they lost to United, I believe they were like seventh or eighth, and they're easy top half team. They have very good players: Raul Jimenez, Harry Wilson, Alex Iwobi is one of my favorite players in this team. You have Robinson just came back. You have Anderson. Calvin Bassey just came back from AFCON. You have Leno, and it's just a very good team. You can't really find many weaknesses in the team. I think they're very solid in the back, in the middle, and up front. I think they're very solid. And Fulham, I think they'll probably end top eight, top nine, because compared to other teams they're more consistent than other teams, I would say. And they have very good players that rarely get injured, right? Harry Wilson hasn't gotten injured. Raul Jimenez gets injured in moments, but not for long periods of time. Alex Iwobi is always playing, so he's always there. Then you have Anderson and center back, who is very good. Calvin Bassey, he's always there. So it's a very solid team that gets low to zero injuries. So I think they will finish in the top eight, maybe fight for a conference league. I think if they get conference league would be a very huge achievement for Fulham. And Marco Silva always doing a good job. Marco Silva always being one of those managers in mid-table teams who we're just waiting to see if they ever get a big move. I think he fits a Tottenham style more than the manager they have right now. I think the manager they have right now is too pragmatic. I think Marco Silva would do very well at Tottenham, or maybe if Eddie Howe leaves Newcastle, he could fit there. If Unai Emery once leaves, he could fit there. You have the two managers in that middle area that I like right now, in is Marco Silva and Adoni Iraola. Those are two managers that I could see at a Newcastle, that I could see at an Aston Villa, that I could see at a Tottenham, right? So Fulham doing very well. I think they'll finish top eight in the league, and then United, right? United next couple of games, right? Will they get the 5 wins in a row so the guy can finally cut his hair? Will they finally get it? Because next couple of games, they're pretty winnable. I think Tottenham is one of them, and I believe let's check because they're pretty winnable games. They have 3 wins in a row. They beat City, they beat Arsenal, and then they're facing Tottenham. Not yeah, the next game is Tottenham, and then after that they have who is it? Let's check. They have Tottenham and West Ham next, and Everton, and then Crystal Palace. Tottenham, they only played well against City, who we'll talk about. They face West Ham after that, who are in relegation zone right now. Everton, who's very consistent, but they have to go to. Man United have to go to Everton's new ground. Then you have Crystal Palace, who haven't won a game in 11. Then you have Newcastle, who is a tougher game, right? But you look at the next couple of games: Tottenham winnable, Everton and West Ham winnable. Crystal Palace winnable. Those are there for next game. So do I think they could win all of them? I think they'll drop some points, but I think the main thing is to keep the performances going, to keep their players fit, to keep it just to keep the momentum up because they're playing very good football right now. The midfield is very compact. Man United's midfield of Casemiro, Kobe Mainu and Bruno Fernandez, they interchange so well because sometimes you see Kobe Mainu stay back a little bit with Casemiro make a run into goal or be right outside of the box. You have Bruno Fernandez moving around. They understand each other very well, which just makes me question what was Ruben Amorim thinking because these players their IQs are very high. Kobe Mainu is young, but his IQ and movement on the pitch and understanding with other players, he's a very technical player. He's very technical. He understands himself with Bruno and Casemiro so much. It's a perfect balance. You have the defensive mid who could do everything in Casemiro. You have the more attacking eight who could do everything when it comes to attack, and he has the discipline to come back and defend. And you have the technical Kobe Mainu who can defend, who just does everything for the team as well. He attacks, he defends. He that left hand pocket is he's very good in it. The right hand pocket is very good in it. It's a very balanced midfield, and they understand each other very well because they're very technical and very high IQ. In attack, Cunha has been on one. Sesko has been very good ever since Ruben Amorim left. This team is playing very well, and Michael Carrick has to get a lot of props for this because I just made a video on Carrick. I'm not going to talk much about him. I talked about how good he's been, but yeah, let's see. Man United have will they get the 5 wins? Let's see if the guy can finally cut his hair.